You're listening to Executive Leaders Radio, broadcast from Newmark Knight Frank. This is your host, Herb Cohen, with my co-host, Shannon Lane, Newmark Knight Frank. And Shannon, could you please give us a rundown on who we have on the air today, please?
Sure, Herb. We have a great lineup. We have Michael Veen, founder of Veen, O'Neill, Hartshorn, and Levin; Edith Pierce, founder of the Pierce Law Firm; Rosemary Pinto, partner of Feldman and Pinto; and Seth Wilson, partner of Morris Wilson.
Let's get to know Michael Veen, founder of Veen, O'Neill, Hartshorn, and Levin. Michael, what is Veen, O'Neill, Hartshorn, and Levin? What are you guys doing?
Herb, we're trial lawyers. We represent people who are injured. We represent criminal defendants, and we represent small businesses and their commercial litigation needs. We have offices in Philadelphia, Allentown, and Reading. And
how large or how small is the team?
We have 8 lawyers and a staff of about 25. We're a small plaintiffs firm.
Mm-hmm. Where you from originally?
Born in Connecticut, raised in the New England area.
Why were you born in Connecticut and then raised in the New England area?
I was born to a single mother with my brother and my sister very early on, and I went away to a boarding school at age 13.
Oh, okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have an older brother, 18 months older, Tim, and my younger sister, 18 months younger, Beth.
Mm-hmm. So you went to boarding school at the age of 13, and what affected that? What did that have on you? What effect did that have on you?
Well, it made me independent very early on, and it also gave me a real hunger that burns in the pit of my stomach. I saw a lot of other students who came from wealthy families, and it was and had many things, including large families and many material things. It became important to me to work hard and strive to have those things in my life in the future.
So you went to a boarding school, but you were on scholarship where most of the other kids, their parents were paying for it, and these were kids that, came from money, where you got exposed to another side of life that you hadn't seen before, and I guess you felt, that you thought you could work for it and you could earn it, as opposed to what? What was your feeling back then?
That's absolutely true. I'll tell you, I had a chip on my shoulder coming out of there, and I still wear it prominently on either shoulder, whichever way I'm leading the punch. It was important to me to work hard and work harder than anybody else in order to achieve, whether it be grades or success in sport or later in life, professional success.
Let me ask you a question. Your willingness to work hard, how'd that show up? What kind of sports did you play as a kid?
I wrestled through high school and college.
You wrestled. And what was it about wrestling that you enjoyed, and why'd wrestling turn you on?
I enjoyed the absolute one-on-one competition in wrestling. I'll tell you, in my first year of wrestling, I was 0-13. I didn't win any matches, but I was never pinned either. I became the unpinnable. In my senior year in high school, I got second in New England's and went on to a pretty solid collegiate career as well.
So you're not one who likes to lose.
No, I never say die, never give up. That's certainly my attitude.
So this law firm, how old is this law firm?
I started this law firm 6 years ago. I started it really just with myself. I had a young associate and a paralegal. We've grown to the size now of 8 lawyers, probably going to be at 10 fairly soon.
You're located in the Center City, Philadelphia area, aren't you?
1219 Spruce Street. I have an old historic building that I've done historic restoration of.
What do you mean you did the historic restoration of?
Well,
and tell us the truth. Who did the actual historic reservation, like the cleaning of the brick and so on and so forth?
I did a lot of it myself. I work every day, 7 days a week. When I got the building, I spent Sunday mornings from about 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday washing and refurbishing all of the tiger oak in the building. I stripped walls down and grinded brick back to its original form. I hired folks to recreate to duplicate the leaded windows that were in the building that were broken.
Well, why did you do that physical labor yourself on Sunday morning at 5 in the morning?
I wanted to make sure that the job was done right and to my satisfaction and on my time schedule.
Why was that meaningful to you, doing that work? How'd you find meaning in that? What was the?
I'm not sure I know the answer to that question, other than working with my hands is, in a lot of ways, therapy for my mind, and the mind, the body, and the spirit all being connected. Labor like that, intensive, long-hour labor is really a medicine
how's
for the
that
soul.
mind, body, soul really sinking yourself into something like you were at the wrestling? How's that help your clients out?
Well, we counsel our clients in a holistic way. We represent them in all aspects of their legal needs, but also we counsel them in other areas in their lives, and we try to make sure that they are as strong as can be in mind, body, and spirit.
It sounds to me like when you take on a case, you're pretty serious about it. You're not going to get pinned. You want to win, and it's just like you went in at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning to start cleaning the brick in that building. It's like you're pretty intense in terms of your representation of your clients. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say. In the criminal defense world, it's a very aggressive type of litigation that spills over into our commercial and injury litigation. We are no holds barred. We'll go to any extent to discover our case, and we'll work hard until we get the result that we want.
Shannon?
Michael, can you tell us a little bit about your mom and what she was like?
My mom is still working at age 75. She's a nurse in Boston now. She had 3 kids at 17, 19, and 21. Raised all 3 of us by herself, put herself through school. She actually danced in London, Connecticut in a go-go cage while going to nursing school at the same time. She continued to educate herself throughout an RN, a bachelor's, and then eventually earning an Ivy League master's degree in nursing administration.
Wow. So what have you learned from mom that you bring with you to work every day?
Work your ass off.
Mm-hmm. So you have you got a lot of respect for people that work hard, don't you?
And I expect it on everybody on my team.
And so how young were you when you started making money?
The first job that I had and that made money was a paper route, probably at age 6 or 7 years old in Norwich, Connecticut.
A paper route. And what did that evolve into?
What that evolved into was a pretty substantial route where we carried not only the Norwich Bulletin but also the Sunday New York Times, which was a very heavy paper back in that day.
So you had a paper route with whom?
My brother, my older brother, Tim.
And then you guys ended up doing something with lawns and painting and so on and so forth.
Yep,
what was that all about?
We had a lawn business that started with one lawnmower. We built up to a couple, and we did every house in our neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods. That was predominantly a summertime job, and we also had a painting business which would supplement some of our income.
So what was your role in terms of these businesses, this paper route, this lawn mowing business, and this painting business? How'd you affect these businesses? What'd you do to them?
I made sure that we started each day the way it's supposed to be started, worked throughout the day, never left the business until the job was done.
You actually mentioned something about first in and last to leave or something like that. What was that all about?
In just about everything I've done, whether it be practice at wrestling or working, I'm the first one in and the last to leave.
Well, that was showing up at 5 o'clock on Sunday morning when you were cleaning the bricks in the building. Well, why are you like that? And what's the benefit to your clients of that personality trait?
I'm like that because I really have a hunger to succeed. When I came to Philadelphia and started to build a law firm, I worked every day for 3 years. That's every day for 3 years, New Year's, 4th of July, Christmas, birthdays, Thanksgiving. And I built a law practice. I built a client base. My clients saw and see how hard I work, how dedicated I am to their cause and a singular focus. And it has helped to build a base.
Michael, throughout your career, you've been on the chair of a number of charity events and mentored and coached many children. Why is that important to you?
It's important to me to take what I've earned and the lessons that I've learned in life to date and not only give it to my children but to as many people as possible.
And you enjoy...
It's food. It's food for my soul, to be honest with you.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Our mind, our body, and our spirit are all connected, and everybody knows how to strengthen their body and feed it the right nutrition. But our soul is a little different kind of a thing, and really through prayer and through charitable acts, I'm feeding and nurturing my soul as much as I can.
What's the website address for this organization known as Van der Veen, O'Neill, Hartshorn, and Levin?
mtvlaw.com. That's mtvlaw.com.
We've been speaking with Michael Van der Veen, founder of Van der Veen, O'Neill, Hartshorn, and Levin here on Executive Leaders Radio. Back in a moment right after this business spotlight.